Hi everyone, my name is Abha Godse and I'm the supervisor over the AI team at WVU Medicine. Thank you for joining John Snow Labs Healthcare NLP Summit. Today I'm here to talk about how we leverage John Snow Labs Healthcare NLP model to maximize our patient care by making our HCC code discovery more efficient. So let's dive in. Let me introduce you to WVU Medicine. WVU Medicine is a comprehensive health system that spans across 25 hospitals. These hospitals are in several key regions, including North Central West Virginia, Southern Pennsylvania, Western Ohio, and Eastern Maryland. What makes WVU Medicine truly exceptional is its strong affiliation with Academic Medical Center at West Virginia University. This partnership allows us to combine cutting edge research and advanced medical education with high quality patient care, making a significant impact in the communities we serve. Our flagship hospital, Ruby Memorial Hospital, located in Morgantown, West Virginia, stands out as a testament to our commitment to excellence. It was recently recognized by US News and World Report as the top hospital in the state of West Virginia. At WVU Medicine, we serve a unique and diverse population, which is reflected in the large and varied data stored in our systems. This data is a powerful resource because all 25 hospitals in our system are on the same EMR system and follow the same standard procedures, making newer implementations easier to scale. With rapidly growing machine learning and AI capabilities, we are able to use this data to enhance patient care and make our health system more efficient. Our AI team at WVU Medicine leverages cutting edge technologies to develop a wide range of predictive and classification models. These models are applied across different areas of our organization. These areas include but are not limited to population health, revenue cycle, ambulatory services, and so on. By using these advanced tools, we are not only improving outcomes of our patients but also optimizing the way our health system operates. Before we dive into today's project, let me talk a little bit about population health management. Population health is defined as health outcomes of group of individuals, including how these outcomes are distributed within that group. This perspective allows us to understand not just the health of individuals, but the broader patterns within our population or communities that we serve. Population health provides a framework for improving health outcomes on a larger scale. By focusing on groups rather than individuals, we can better address the factors that lead to disparities and work towards a healthier society as a whole. The primary goals of population health management are to improve health of entire population, reduce health disparities, and ensure health resources are allocated efficiently. By focusing on these goals, health system can work towards more equitable and effective healthcare system. To achieve these goals, data-driven strategies are used that help identify health trends within a population. This approach allows effective management of chronic diseases and implement preventive care measures that can reduce the overall burden of these chronic diseases. It's about being proactive rather than reactive when it comes to population health management in healthcare. What is HCC coding? Hierarchical condition categorical coding is a system that categorizes patients' chronic conditions. This categorization helps predict future healthcare needs and ensures that the care is both comprehensive and appropriately managed. Listed in the slide here are a few aims and objectives of HCC coding. Enhanced patient care. One of the key benefits of HCC coding is the ability to provide personalized treatment. By accurately coding chronic conditions, we can develop tailored care plans and intervene early with high risk patients, ultimately improving their health outcomes. Improve population health management. HCC coding also contributes significantly to population health management. The data it generates gives us valuable insights into health trends, allowing us to implement targeted prevention strategies and improve coordination across care teams. Regulatory compliance and quality reporting. Accurate documentation through HCC coding supports our compliance with healthcare regulations. It also ensures that health systems can report quality metrics effectively, which is essential for maintaining transparency and accountability in patient care. Lastly, HCC coding plays a role in patient engagement. When patients understand their health status through accurate coding better, they are more likely to be involved in their care, leading to better continuity and higher satisfaction. This continuity of care builds trust and strengthens the patient provider relationship. Let's find out how HCC coding and population health go hand in hand. The primary purpose of HCC coding is to adjust payments to health plans based on health status and demographic characteristics of enrollees in the Medicare Advantage plans. This ensures that health systems receive appropriate funding to care for patients with varying levels of health needs. The process begins with providers documenting patients' chronic conditions in their EMR system. These documented chronic conditions are then translated into HCC codes. This translation is essential because it standardizes how these chronic conditions are reported throughout the health systems. But the real impact of HCC coding lies in its ability to enhance patient care. By accurately coding chronic conditions, we can identify high risk patients early and develop targeted and personalized care plans. This ensures that patients with complex and chronic conditions receive the comprehensive care they need, leading to significantly better outcomes. The focus here is truly on improving patient health rather than just the financial aspects. The process of evaluating chronic conditions and documenting the relevant HCC codes while assessing and treating patients can be quite taxing for our providers. These codes are derived from clinical notes, exam reports, and other unstructured patient documents, which make this task both extensive and detail oriented. Given the scale and complexity of our organization, it's an overwhelming task to keep up with, which often leads to some HCC codes missing from patient diagnosis chart. This can happen despite the best efforts of our providers as they navigate the demands of patient care alongside the meticulous documentation of HCC coding. However, the importance of accurate and comprehensive HCC coding cannot be overstated. Fortunately, advancements in technology have provided us with tools to alleviate some of this burden. By leveraging natural language processing, we can automate the extraction of HCC codes from clinical notes and exam reports. This technology allows us to systematically analyze unstructured data to get the pertinent information from these notes and then translate this information into HCC codes. Implementing NLP for HCC code extraction not only streamlines the documentation process but also enhances the accuracy and completeness of coding, ensuring that our patients receive the most appropriate care that they need. This approach also enables our providers to focus more on patient care, knowing that the critical task of HCC coding is being handled efficiently and effectively by these state of art technologies. Let me walk you through how we built an in-house CPT code extraction engine based on JSL Spark NLP healthcare module. Before I go into any specifics, let me give you an overview. First, we take a clinical note and gather diagnosis or extract diagnosis from this clinical note. This diagnosis is then translated into CPT code, which is then mapped to an HCC code. Let me get to the details of it. First, we take the clinical note and apply John Snow Labs Healthcare NLP module. This model utilizes a range of sophisticated techniques to extract meaningful context from the notes. It incorporates machine learning, ontology, context analysis, linguistic patterns, and specific rules, including negations, to extract the diagnosis. In addition to these robust techniques, we have customized the model at WVU Medicine to better suit our needs. This customization involves refining the token extraction process by removing irrelevant details like family history and suggestive comments. Our goal here is to accurately extract CPT codes from clinical notes relevant to that patient at that time. Our population is unique and oftentimes there are few codes that are not relevant to our patient population. Hence, once the CPT codes are extracted, we filter out the codes that are not applicable to our patient population. Finally, these CPT codes are mapped to HCC code using our EMR system's code mapping techniques. This conversion process ensures that the codes we use are accurate and are relevant to our patient care and documentation needs. In this slide, we have a sample clinical note. Without boring you with the clinical terms, the highlighted text in yellow is the chronic medical condition that we are interested in. If you look at the model output, you can see a column called chunk. Chunk is basically the diagnosis that our model extracted from this note. This model also gives you the exact sentence based off of which it determined that this diagnosis would be present in the note. If you observe carefully, there is another column in the output which says confidence. What does confidence mean? So, confidence is the confidence level by which our model predicts a certain diagnosis in a clinical note. For example, a confidence score of 1 means that the model is super confident that this diagnosis is present in the clinical note. Confidence of 0 means the model is not at all confident that this diagnosis is in this clinical note. We use this confidence score to further filter our CPT codes. As an AI team in healthcare, we are often posed with a problem that, hey, we have a great data set and we built a very precise model based off of this data set. But how do we leverage these predictions to make a significant impact in patient care? In this case, how do we make sure that the CPT codes that we have extracted are mapped accurately to the HCC codes and then are eventually attached to the diagnosis chart of the patient? So let's go through the workflow that we have generated to integrate these results. We start by querying our EMR database to gather all the upcoming patient appointments scheduled over the next 14 weeks. This allows us to focus on patients who will soon be seen by our providers, ensuring timely and relevant data processing. Next, we retrieve all the radiology notes associated with these patients. These notes contain the crucial information that can be used to identify potential diagnosis and then translate these diagnoses to CPT codes, which are vital for comprehensive patient care. We then utilize the CPT extraction engine that we just talked about before to leverage and extract CPT codes from the retrieved radiology notes. This powerful tool allows us to efficiently process large volume of unstructured data and accurately identify the relevant CPT codes. The extracted CPT codes are then stored in our database. Within this database, we apply data manipulation and filtering to assign a load value to each CPT code. We filter out codes that are already attached to the patient diagnosis chart as well as those that have low confidence level according to the model. A load value of 1 indicates that the CPT code should be loaded in our EMR system, and a load value of 0 indicates it should not be. We have a process that automatically picks up these CPT codes and loads them into our EMR front-end system. This ensures that the relevant codes are readily available to the providers during patient visits. What we have seen so far is how we get radiology notes of the upcoming patient appointments and ingest the CPT codes from these notes into our system. But the true magic happens when a patient visit occurs. During the patient visit, the provider receives a best practice alert containing the suggested HCC codes. These best practice alerts are real time. So when a provider is actually entering the diagnosis, it gets an alert with the HCC codes that we are suggesting. The provider is given 3 options: accept the code, reject the code, or mark the code as invalid. If the provider confirms that the code is accurate, it is then added to the patient record, completing our HCC coding workflow. If the provider disagrees with the prediction, they can reject the code, or if they feel that the code is deemed invalid, they can choose option 3. Importantly, these responses are tracked for future validation and audit purposes, allowing us to refine our process and ensure accuracy. This workflow not only streamlines the integration of HCC coding into our EMR system, but also enhances the accuracy and efficiency of the coding process itself, ultimately contributing to better patient care. This is the interesting part of our workflow, loading codes into our EMR system. As I mentioned earlier, we have an output table that stores all the CPT codes extracted from the radiology documents. Each of this code has a load value. 1 means it needs to be loaded into our EMR system, 0 means it shouldn't be loaded. Our data architect has developed a process that scans these tables, retrieving the codes and patient information for all the entries with a load value of 1. Additionally, this process pulls in supplemental data from our database, which is necessary to trigger the best practice alert. A flat file-like format, as shown in this image, is then created with the data that is generated from this process, and it is stored in a designated file location. From there, an EMR system's internal process ingests these files, converts the CPT codes into HCC codes, and ensures that a best practice alert is triggered or displayed during a patient encounter. Now that we have discussed how we built the model and integrated its results into our workflow, let's review its impact and performance. Our model is relatively new. Having gone live with this workflow in December 2023, we are still in process of training our providers to use it effectively. Since December 2023, our model has extracted over more than 27,000 HCC codes. Of these, 18.4% were accepted by providers, positively impacting over 5,000 patients. By effectively coding HCC codes, we were able to enhance care for these patients by accurately summarizing their health needs so that their patient or their health status is communicated transparently throughout the health system. One key factor contributing to our model's efficiency is our document tracking system. We maintain a record of all scanned documents to avoid rescanning the same files when a patient schedules another appointment. This streamlines the process and ensures a fast runtime with the operation completed within under an hour. Overall, these elements combine to make our model both accurate and efficient, enhancing the support that we provide to our healthcare team. As we look to the future, we have several exciting next steps for our project. First, we are working on version 2 of our model, which will be based on the latest Johnstow Labs healthcare NLP model. The model currently, as of just in testing phases, is giving more codes with more precision. Moreover, our current workflow has few drawbacks. Whenever we have a latest Johnstow Labs model, we have an elaborate process of upgrading this current model to our latest model. We are actively working on improving our infrastructure such that the model upgrade is just a single line code change in future. Next, we plan to expand our process beyond radiology documents to include progress notes as well. This will provide a more comprehensive view of patient information and further integrate our model into healthcare workflow. Additionally, we are exploring the extension of base healthcare model that Johnstow provides into other potential patient care areas. This includes classification of mislabeled documents and identifying incidental findings. These steps will help us to continue and improve our system and provide even more valuable support to our healthcare teams. As we wrap up, I would like to emphasize the importance of having strong operational business partners when tackling complex projects like ours. The success of such initiatives heavily depend on thorough clinical data validation and meticulous workflow evaluation, which is only possible with a strong operational business partner. Given that we are a smaller AI team, having a partner like Johnstow Labs has been invaluable. Their expertise and support have truly empowered us to achieve our natural language project goals. By leveraging Johnstow Labs' professional services, we were able to implement our ideas using state-of-art AI tools and see them through to completion within just a few months. This collaboration has been key to our success and it highlights the power of strategic partnerships in driving innovations and delivering results. Lastly, I strongly encourage small AI team like ours to leverage JSL's professional services as it helps expedite implementation of such complex projects and realize the value of such projects sooner. Thank you for your time.